everybody. Welcome to Life Stories People Helping People. I'm Shara Goswick, your host, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today on the podcast, I speak with Elaine Poggi, who has a nonprofit, and her website is Healing Photo Art. The name of her nonprofit is long and technical, so it's easier to go by her website, Healing Photo Art. What she does is provide photographs for hospitals who all over the world can come and purchase these pictures to put on the walls in their hospitals. And what it helps do is our word of the week.
It's the word of the week.
Our word of the week is relax. Can you imagine spending time in a hospital and looking at 4 blank walls or a boring picture of something you don't even know what it is for hours on end, or maybe days or weeks? What she does is provide photographs that people enjoy looking at. During our conversation, Elaine talked about the scientific evidence of how beautiful pictures can help relax someone, and where would someone need more relaxation than having to be in a hospital. I love that. I loved what she's doing. She said that people send her pictures all the time. She takes photographs herself. I think it's a beautiful concept, and I hope that maybe you will look into her site, maybe send her some pictures. Maybe you know of someone that works in a facility that could use these pictures. Thank you for listening today. I hope you're encouraged. Have a great day. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Really, everything's pretty good.
Good. I have to say, well, you're the first person I've talked to in Italy. I've spoken to someone in England, in Latvia, and Australia. You're the first person in Italy. And if I was a flyer, I don't like to fly. Italy is where I would want to go. That's the only place I ever would want to visit. I think
Yes.
after I read Eat, Pray, Love, I just wanted to go
Oh,
and
yeah.
eat all the bread and drink all the wine and have all the cheese.
Yeah,
I
it's
want it
like
all.
that. It's really wonderful. This
Yeah.
is my 50th year that I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah, I came as I came to get my master's degree here in Florence in
Oh my
piano. I
goodness.
was a concert pianist, actually.
Yeah.
And I met my husband, and then
There you go.
yeah, with kids and grandkids. And
That's wonderful.
where
Well,
are you based? Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Texas.
Ah, Texas. Okay.
Yeah, been here all my life. Don't know that I would ever want to go anywhere else, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know you wanted somebody from the Missouri, and I do have a condo in Missouri in
Yeah.
St. Louis. I was born in East St. Louis, actually,
Yeah.
which is Illinois, and grew up in Southern Illinois. But and then I now, I don't know, after so many years, I decided to buy a condo in St. Louis with my husband,
Yeah.
and that's where it's a lot more fun, St. Louis and Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
So, and that's where we have our board meetings. That's where we are.
Oh, okay.
That's where the foundation is legally based
Okay.
as a nonprofit.
Very good. I was
So
going to
here
ask
we are.
why you would possibly come back when you're over there, but that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of family there, and
Oh, okay.
do some medical things, and have my board meeting, and
Sure.
I have a lot. I have a
Get
farm
stuff done.
in Illinois. Huh?
Yeah. You get stuff done when you come over here.
Oh yeah, I have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there
Well,
from the 6th to the 20th
oh, okay. Yeah. So that's a
of
good one.
November. Of
Yeah.
November.
Good
Yeah.
deal. I love finding unique things that people are doing, and this is very unique. This is very cool. It's
Yeah.
something I've never thought about before when I've been in a hospital and looked at the
Yeah.
pictures and wondered where they came from or why they were there.
I don't know of any other nonprofit that does exactly what I do.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. So,
There's a guy in France that he takes pictures of paintings.
oh wow.
It's the photos of paintings in
Huh.
hospitals, and just in France. He's just very small, and
Yeah.
I'm collaborating with him. Some of the hospitals don't have any money or anything, and we just send
Yeah.
them photos of
Oh
nature
wow. Yeah.
already mounted, and they don't have to pay anything. So
Sure.
I'm collaborating with, in fact, that's my next project in a
Yeah.
hospital in France. Yeah.
Very good. So your organization is called Healing Photo Art, and I would love for you to tell me why you started it. Why would you ever think to do something like this?
Actually, the legal name is the Foundation for Photo Art in Hospitals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But our website is healingphotoart.org.
Right.
So it's a lot easier, Healing Photo Art.
Yes.
And why did I start it? Well, back in 2001, my mom ended up in the hospital in Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
and she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Mm.
And she ended up being 3 months in the hospital, and then she passed away in the hospital. But
Wow.
during that time, I put my photos that I had at her home, of Florence and Tuscany, and I put them in her room, and everybody would come and look at the photos. I stuck them on the wall. With that yellow sticky stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, putty or something.
Yeah.
So I'd stick the photos on the wall and walls of her room, and it would make it more pleasant for her. And also it created conversations for when people would come in, the doctors and nurses, the cleaning people. Oh, that's a pretty picture. Where's that from? And so
Yeah.
it kind of took her out of her hospital mood whenever
Right.
she could talk to people about my photos. And
Yeah.
then after she passed away, I went back to Florence and I said to my family, I could do this, you know, I could do this for other hospitals. And so I organized myself and it became a nonprofit in a year later,
Mm-hmm.
um, in November 2002. And it's a 501c3 nonprofit based in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I do all the work in Florence, but it's the legal, um, it's it's in St. Louis. That's the address. It
Yeah.
actually is a Delaware
Yeah.
nonprofit,
Yeah.
like many are, but the
Yes.
address is St. Louis.
Very good.
Oh,
Well, where do your pictures come from? What do you take photographs of to put in the hospital?
well, I take photographs of nature, and my photos are of mountains because I love the Dolomites here in Florence, in Italy. They're so beautiful. When we go hiking, tropical beaches. In the past, we've been to the Maldives, which are just
Oh,
beautiful,
wow.
white sandy beaches. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful. Animals, I love animals, and so there's lots of photos. I take lots of pictures of animals all over the place. And Tuscany is a real favorite topic also because Tuscany is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was the only photographer for the first 8 years, I guess. But
Mhm.
I had people writing me. The other photographers were saying, "Hey, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Can I participate?" And so I brought it to my board, and they agreed to say, let's open it to other photographers. So now we have just passed the 500 contributing photographers mark.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's wonderful.
there's 500 photographers from all over the world, all ages. The
Wow.
youngest was 11 years old.
Oh my
My
goodness.
granddaughter last year when she was 12, she donated one of her photos.
Oh
And
wow.
it's
That's
been really,
exciting.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So we have professional photographers and we have amateur photographers. And they're
Yeah.
all, they're just with the photos speak. There's
Mm.
something comes out of the photos that I think that we have on our website. You can take a look. That
Yeah.
I choose photos that, they reach out to you. And
Yeah.
there's so many beautiful photos on our website.
Yeah, there are. I have looked at your website. You talked about how the pictures on the walls were like conversation starters for the doctors and the people that came in. Have you heard stories about from patients or about patients that have been moved by the photos in their room?
Yes. Um, I just was a pretty recent, a woman, was writing, her husband had brain surgery. I think it was in Duluth. And while she was in the waiting room, um, our photos were in there. And she wrote me, she said, one of the photos absolutely made the whole uh, ordeal bearable because
Wow.
it spoke to her, the photo. And she was thanking me for that. And she said she actually is a amateur photographer too. And I said, well, would you like to donate one of your photos? And so she
Wow.
also became a contributing photographer, and her husband did survive, and he's doing okay.
Oh,
So that was
wow.
good. So she's a contributing photographer, but that email was really, really very nice because
Yeah.
I get a lot of emails like that. I
Do
get a lot
you?
of feedback that the
Yeah.
photos have helped patients, they've helped the family,
Yeah.
the nurses and the doctors are so happy to have a nice working area that
Yeah.
is colorful and it's not so drab. I get a lot of that. I get a
That's
lot.
good. I know that's encouraging for what you're
Oh yeah.
doing.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
One of the things you talked about on your website was the scientific evidence of how art can affect us. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. When I first started, there was like nothing. You know, I looked around. I on the website on the internet. I said, well, are they doing? There's maybe one or two scientific programs are trying to figure out, what is it that's nice in hospitals, but nothing much at all. Now
Right.
there's a lot. You can find a lot on that if you do some research on the internet. And in fact, I was involved like in 2010 with a research project here in Florence, which included cancer centers all over Italy.
Uh-huh.
And we did it was interviewing patients before there was nothing on the walls,
Mm-hmm.
and interviewing them after the photos were up on the
Yeah.
walls. And it did make a difference to them, and it gave them, it turned out that it made a difference. It gave them, they were more relaxed. They actually liked nature photos better than any
Huh.
other.
Yeah.
That was the thing that they liked the most. And they were feeling much better about being able to see something beautiful on the walls while they got their chemo.
That's awesome. Like I said, I never would have thought about the pictures that were on the wall. Now, my husband, he's not a photographer, but he has planted flowers around the entire perimeter of our house. And so he's
That's
taking
nice.
pictures of flowers all the time. And he
Yeah.
did take a really up close picture and blew it up. And we put it in the bathroom, and it does look professional. Like, I mean, I was pretty impressed with it.
Have him send it if he would like to
It
donate
was
it to the
beautiful. Oh, I'm
foundation.
sure he
Send
would,
it to me.
but it's
Yeah.
beautiful and it goes perfect. And I thought,
What
gosh,
color?
it's white, it's green. The flowers are white, and then there's a little bit of green in it. I can
Yeah.
email it to you, and you're welcome
Yeah,
to
sure.
do whatever you want with it.
Sure.
But um,
It's
I
really,
can see.
I, I just read an article, don't know where it was, but it said that viewing art or being involved in art can add 10 years onto your life.
Really? Wow, that's
Yeah, I
exciting.
can send that to you if you want. I say, oh wow,
Yeah,
well, maybe I'll live
definitely.
to 100.
There you go. Yeah, you're very much involved with that, so you
Yeah,
should.
yeah.
How can people help your organization other than, like, do people ask to submit photos, or people
Yes,
that are not professional photographers, they do ask?
yes,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I
Okay.
get emails all the time from people that they know they've found out about the foundation, and they say, "Oh, I really like to, donate my photo. Take a look what I've got." I look on their if they have a website, I look on their website, or they tell me what their social media is so I can take a look, or they just send me the photos via email.
Yeah.
And I haven't refused anybody,
Yeah.
amazingly, because I can always
Yeah.
find
That is
something.
amazing.
It is amazing. I can
Yeah.
always find something that works.
That's wonderful.
Sometimes I have to adjust it a little bit
Yeah.
in Lightroom, which is what I use to edit adjust photos, let's call it that. But yeah, they find me, and it's really fun to
That
communicate
is
with all
neat.
these people from around the world that want to
Yeah.
help other people, either because they've been in a hospital and they know
Right.
what it's like, or their family has been, in the hospital, or
Yeah.
they just want to help. And it's
Yeah.
so nice.
It is. It is. I love getting to see what people are doing all over the world.
Yeah.
It is encouraging for sure. Well, how can people help you besides sending pictures? What can they do to help your organization?
Well,
Anything?
if they know of a hospital that is drab and they need some photos, they can contact me by email. It's
Okay.
on my website,
Mhm.
my email. Usually to be in a hospital, you need to know somebody in the hospital.
Mhm.
It's pretty hard to just go,
Yeah. Here's my
without
pictures.
knowing anybody in the
Yeah.
hospital, or somebody that works there or whatever. Um, and the photographers fundraising is always great. We've had for the past 10 years, we've had a wonderful grants from the Boston Foundation, the Face Lover Fund, which has
Uh-huh.
now been discontinued just this past year. And they were wonderful. They helped us a lot these past years. So now I'm looking for new fundraising
Okay.
opportunities. People help by donating. My family and my friends, I bug them. No, we more or less try to give the photos to the hospitals that are needy. If they don't have funding for the art, we give it to them.
Yeah,
And if they do have funding, we appreciate if they can help with the
sure.
shipping and the printing. That's always helpful.
Yeah.
Um, One thing we haven't touched on, I've been working with interns for the past 10 years. And I counted them up just before talking to you, and I've actually had 85 interns, students
Wow.
in the past 10 years. And most of them are students that come to Florence
Hmm.
for a semester to study in Florence, and they either get credit for working with me
Oh,
or
wow.
volunteer. And it's great working with young
Yeah.
people. They're all ready. They all want to help. Many of them become contributing photographers. Many of them coordinate projects with their local hospitals back home. Um,
Wow.
it's many of them help me. Most of them help me with all the social media because we're all over the place. We're on
Yeah.
all the social media, and they're very bright, these kids.
Yes,
So
they are.
I've learned a lot. I also do Zooming with students at, especially the University of Minnesota at Duluth,
Oh, okay.
because the teacher there, LaDonna Tornabene, she's a professor of art and health,
Mhm.
and she encourages her students to volunteer their time with various nonprofits, and
I love
I'm one
that.
of them. And so I've got one right now from that
That's
university that
wonderful.
I'm working Zoom wise, and she's become a contributing photographer. The latest photo that I
Wow.
posted.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's obvious that you love what you do, but what is your favorite thing about what you're doing with this?
Wow. I love it all.
I believe it.
When you think about someone in the hospital looking at a photo or two photos or three photos, it makes them calmer and happier. I look at a lot of photos all the time. When I get the photos back from where they're printed and mounted, I look at them and I make sure they're okay. I control, make sure
Right?
they're okay. So I'm looking at these beautiful photos of nature, and it just lifts me up
Yeah.
by doing that. So taking the photos, I'm always looking for something beautiful that might work in a hospital. And
Mhm.
so it's the photography of nature that really lifts me up.
Yeah.
I gotta say that's it.
That's
That's it.
wonderful. Do
Yeah,
you,
nature is really beautiful, by the
it
way.
really is. It really
It's
is.
really,
Yeah.
especially where I live, it's just
Oh,
gorgeous.
I'm sure it's gorgeous. My husband loves to landscape. He loves doing, I like
Hmm.
looking at all of it and I will water, but he does all the planting and all the planning and
Yeah,
it
that's
is all just
lovely.
beautiful. I just
That
love
lifts you up.
it. It
That
does.
lifts you up. It really
It's very
does.
relaxing. Hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of research out there that nature, go out and walk in the nature, that makes you feel a lot better. It's
Yes.
very good for your health.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So when this airs, I'm going to have all your information for everybody to find you and find out about what you're doing. Is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you would like to tell me about?
Mhm. Well, in these past 22, 23 years, we've placed more than 11,000 photos
Wow.
in more than 600 facilities on all 7 continents. So we're
Wow.
absolutely all over the world.
You
And
are all
that's
over the
really,
world.
really cool. Let me see if there's something else here that I jotted down. Um, I told you about my interns. They're really important. My photographers are really great. Um,
Do you ever use pictures more than once?
what does that mean?
Well, I mean, like if you have a beautiful picture, to use it in multiple hospitals
Oh, of course.
or yeah,
Yes, because I don't even know how many photos I have on our website,
yeah,
probably 800 maybe.
yeah.
And yes, the hospitals choose. They choose
Oh,
whatever they
okay.
want, the images that they want. And then I have them printed and
Yeah.
mounted on Forex, and then I ship them out. So yeah, there's definitely, that's the beauty of digital. That's the beauty
Yes.
of digital photography. I can make as many copies as I need. That's the
Yes.
difference between having paintings in hospital, which are lovely too. But a painting is one, that's
Right.
it. You spend the artist spends all that time painting, and you put it on the wall, and that's it.
Yeah.
But photos are
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful because you can print them many, 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 many times. And the
Yeah.
hospitals have the choice,
So
whatever
they
they want.
get to pick. I for some reason I was thinking you knew about a place that needed it and you sent them what you thought,
Oh,
but they get
no.
to choose what they
Oh,
want.
yeah. That's fun
Okay.
for them. I
Well,
find
yeah.
that if the nurses or the doctors, if they choose the photos that they like, they'll
Yeah.
take better care of them.
Sure.
It makes them feel part of the project. So
Absolutely.
that works really good. Now, sometimes some hospitals will say, you choose. So I'll choose.
Yeah.
Sometimes I add some extra ones, like if I have some new photographers that have just donated, I'll put their photos in too, just to get them
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
I love this. I mean, I just think it's so beautiful what you're doing to encourage and bring, just encouragement to people that are in a place they don't really want to have to be. And to the families and all the other people, because you don't think about when someone is in the hospital for 3 months or however long,
Oh,
they're
yeah, it's
looking at
tough.
the same thing every
Yeah.
day
Or nothing.
or nothing at
My
all.
my mother in her room, I don't know why they put this kind of art in her room. It was a very small piece of art, let's call it, at the end of her bed. She didn't wear her glasses in the hospital, so she couldn't even see what it was. But it was
Right.
a piece of wood, a piece of cloth, a piece of metal, something else stuck to it, and in a frame.
What is that?
Who would do that?
Right.
I mean, it was nothing.
Yeah.
It was nothing. And instead it should be our photos are let's say around 20 inches by 30 inches. So
Sure.
they're poster size. So they're big. And so
Yeah.
that people can see them and they're
Yeah.
colorful. I only use color
Yeah.
photography. They're big, they're colorful, and the patients can see them from
Yeah.
their beds. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, I love it. I love what you're doing. I'm excited to share this with people because I'm sure
Thank
there will
you.
be lots like me that had no idea this was even a thing, but I think it's perfect. I think it's great what
Yeah, if there's photographers out there that want to share their beautiful photos with others in
yes.
hospitals, just write me.
Yeah.
Um, but I just want to mention we do not have any paid staff.
Yeah.
So I have a
All volunteers.
board of directors in St. Louis. I do most of the work over here, but
Hmm.
it's something that I've really enjoyed doing all these years.
Hmm.
And so if there's somebody that wants to participate, great. If somebody wants to volunteer, great. If somebody wants to coordinate a project with the hospital, great. I'm all
Wonderful.
in.
That's awesome. Well, I'll make sure and have all your information for people to get a hold of you because I bet they will. I bet they will. This has been
Oh,
wonderful. Well,
fine.
thank you so much for chatting with me today, all the
Yeah.
way across the world.
And thank you for doing what you do because it's a positive thing that you're doing. You're showing how people are kind and good and helping other people. And we need more of that in the world.
We do need more of it.
There's a lot of kind people in the world
There
and
are.
good people doing good things.
Yeah,
They just they don't get in the news.
they don't. And I'm honored to be able to talk to the people I have.
Oh
It's just
yeah. It's
exciting to me.
inspiring, isn't
So
it?
it is. It's very
Yeah,
inspiring. I was putting together a video I'm almost at my end of my second year. And I was putting together a video of all the people I've talked to this past year. And I thought, this is amazing. I mean,
it is
I could
amazing.
tell you what every single person is doing, and
Yeah.
it's amazing to me. So
Do you
I
have
love it.
like
I love that I get to do
Instagram
it.
and all this stuff? Do you have all the social media? You
I
should
do.
put it.
I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm on Twitter, but not very often. So, uh,
My interns are on TikTok, so they're helping me with that.
oh, I'm not on
Creative.
TikTok now. Yeah.
And there's LinkedIn and there's
I'm on LinkedIn. Yes.
YouTube and there's
Yeah.
all these good things. Yeah. Spread
All
the
the
word.
things. Definitely.
You should
So,
spread the word of what you're doing.
sure. Well,
Very
thank
good.
you for talking to me today.
That's my pleasure.
All
Hope to
right.
see you sometime in Italy,
Okay.
in
Yes.
Florence. Ah,
Yes. If I do, I promise that you'll be the first to know.
okay, you can do it. You can do it. It's
Okay.
just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Sure. What is the
From,
flight? How long is that really?
from Texas, let's see, my daughter-in-law's mother lives in Texas,
Hmm.
and she was just here. It's a kind of long flight, but there's from Texas, from Texas. I'm not sure if you have to stop someplace else in the United States and then
I don't
someplace
know.
else in Europe. I'm not sure if there's two stops or just one stop.
Yeah.
But now there's a stop from St. Louis all the way to Frankfurt. with
Oh,
the
okay.
nonstop, and then
Yeah.
Frankfurt to Florence, which is that's going to be the flight that I'm taking in November. I've never done that before. It's
Oh,
usually
yeah.
been 2 stops, but this is just one stop.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
research it.
Yeah.
It can be done.
It can be done.
It's
That is true.
Yeah, it can be done. A lot
It
of
can,
people have been doing it this past year.
I
A
know. I
lot of
know.
tourists around in Florence. Mamma mia.
Oh, I bet. I
Oh
bet.
yeah, big,
Yeah.
big, big. Lots of tourists this year.
Yeah.
It's good.
So beautiful. And I
Yeah,
just want to eat all the food.
yeah, it's really
This
great.
looks
I
so
tell you,
awesome. Yeah.
it's really good.
Well, I
Yeah.
will let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you
Please
later.
do.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Take
Okay.
care. Ciao,
Bye bye.
ciao. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.